So indeed, we don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We can go back to the Bible and look for the messages of peace instead of punishment. Look for the words in there where Jesus talked about harmony instead of hatred. There's an opportunity that we can pick up the Bible and actually find that opportunity within ourselves to find the peace that we're looking for. And it's probably helpful to have patience. That in this whirlwind of life that we're all doing, that there are times when things just aren't fun. That there's a challenge that you have in your life that you're finding it difficult to overcome. And sometimes the best thing we can say to ourselves is, this too shall pass. And in those moments, there's another suggestion of how you might find that peace that you're looking for. And the suggestion is that you look for your own personal heroes. Think about those people in your life that you find to be inspiring. When you look at them and you see the struggles that they've gone through and how they have prevailed and risen above, and use those people as your guidepost. One of my personal heroes is a man named Louis Zamperini. Has everybody heard of Louis? There was a book written of him called Unbroken, and he was a World War II pilot. He was shot down in the South Pacific. He was captured by the Japanese, and he went to live in a camp, a prisoner of war camp, for 2 years. The guards did abominable things to him. He was tortured and almost starved to death. And when Louis was rescued and he came back home, he was angry. He took up drinking as a way to avoid the problem of his hatred that he felt for those guards that had been so horrible to him. He would dream of ways that he would go back to Japan and he would murder them and make them suffer just the way that he had. And what Louis ended up discovering, that instead of making the prison guards suffer, he was actually making himself suffer the most. And so somehow, this was in the early 50s, his wife convinced him, of all things, to go to a Billy Graham revival. And he thought, oh my goodness, that's the last place in the world I want to be. He went, and that was the day that he said his soul opened up. And he realized that if his life was going to have meaning, that he needed to forgive and move on. And Louis Zamperini is my hero because he went to the trouble to go back to Japan and arranged a visit with the prison guards because he wanted to tell them himself that he forgave them. That's the power of peace within yourself. And we have personal heroes all around us. In fact, many of you are my personal heroes as well. And I wanted to just give a shout out to a couple of people. A couple of years ago, ironically, 2 people here were diagnosed with multiple myeloma. It's a horrible diagnosis, and they were given a grim forecast. But they did everything they needed to do, and then some, to stay positive, to be healthy, to inspire others in the middle of the most miserable, horrific process you can imagine. And I wanted to give a shout out to them today because ironically, in the last few weeks, both of them have gotten a result of being 100% in remission. So give a shout out to Phil Licata, my personal hero, and Shannon Humphrey. You guys inspire me every day. I am so grateful for you to be in this place and to be inspiring all of us. And each of you have your own story. We've all had our burdens to bear. And so we can look at these burdens as not the problem, but the opportunity to find that peace within, to find a way to dance with life instead of holding on with white knuckles, wishing that things were different, to dive in and find out how we're going to take whatever it is that is troubling us most to be that point of inspiration. And so as we go into meditation, I encourage you all just to find that one word or phrase that when you feel that sense that the world is so uncertain and you can't go one more step, what would that word or phrase be that would remind you to look for the peace within?